Andhra Pradesh, Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu, Deputy Chief Minister, Sri Chinnarajappa Garu, Sri Kaul Singh Thakur, Honorable Minister of Revenue, Government of Himachal Pradesh, Sri Lars Band, Chief of the UNICEF in India, Professor Amita Singh from the Jawaharlal Nehru University, Sri J.C. Sharma, Principal Secretary Revenue, Andhra Pradesh, Sri Ananda Babu, President of Dynix, Members of Parliament, Honorable Ministers from Andhra Pradesh Government, Members of Legislative Assembly, the District Collector and other officers, the delegates who are participating in this World Congress, and also representative of Indian Army, Navy, Home Ministry, officials of the state government, and delegates who have come from various parts of the globe and also from various parts of India. Friends, I am really happy to be here. Though the subject which we are going to discuss is not a happy thing, but how to make effective disaster management is the task before us. I would like to compliment the organizers of this World Congress as sharing knowledge about the disaster management between number of national and international agencies. It will be useful to all the participants and enable evolution of better management techniques for disaster prevention, disaster mitigation, disaster preparedness, disaster relief, disaster rehabilitation and reconstruction. That is the purpose of this Congress. Congress do not mean Congress party, this platform. The platform, Congress means once upon a time it's a platform which fought for the freedom of India. That's why Mahatma Gandhi, after we got independence, he said disband the Congress. Because Congress means all this. Congress, congregation of the people who assemble for the same purpose on a same platform, that is called as Congress. This World Congress today, our focus is disaster mitigation. Friends, the events of natural disasters are on the rise, and India is the most affected region. We have witnessed widespread natural calamities in the past, ranging from floods to earthquakes, landslides, cyclones like Super Cyclone 1999, Gujarat earthquake 2001, South India tsunami in 2004, Mumbai floods in 2005, Kashmiri earthquake in 2005, Kosi floods in 2008, Sikkim earthquake in 2011, Phailin and Hudhud in 2013 and 2014, to name a few. I, as a student, from 1970s onwards, because I also live on the coast, we have been experiencing frequent cyclones, floods. Even now, we have a flood situation in Nellore, Chittoor, Kadapa area. We have a serious flood situation in the Chennai city of Tamil Nadu. And earlier we had a Hudhud Tufan in this Visakhapatnam. Nearly 59% of Indian land area is prone to earthquake of moderate to very high intensity. Over 40 million hectares, 12% of Indian land is prone to floods. About 5,700 kilometers coastline is cyclone prone and exposed to tsunamis and storm surges. 2% of the land is landslide prone, and 68% of India's arable land is affected by droughts. Flooding in the cities and the towns is a recent phenomenon caused by indiscriminate encroachment of waterways, inadequate drainage systems and lack of maintenance of the drainage infrastructure. Andhra Pradesh, with a coastline of 974 kilometers, is prone to cyclone. Since 1891, 77 cyclones have crossed Andhra Pradesh. The 77th one being the Hudhud, which occurred in the October 2014. We are now in a very same city, Visakhapatnam, which has been devastated by Hudhud cyclone 1 year back. Thanks to the able guidance and supervision of the Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu, and also the timely assistance given by our beloved Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi, and also the alertness and promptness and the commitment shown by the district administration, state officials and central government officials, and most notably, the resilience shown by the people of Visakhapatnam is responsible for bringing back the city to its normal position, almost normal position. Friends, you must have seen television, newspapers have now Tamil Nadu, what is happening in Tamil Nadu. These disasters do not only disrupt people's lives and directly affect the disaster-hit areas, but they also jeopardize the entire society and economy of the country. In fact, one single disaster can overwhelm the GDP of the country. In view of this, it is very clear that disaster reduction is a must for sustainable development. You will agree with me when I say that sharing experiences, knowledge of disaster cases, and networking of various expertise is indispensable in effective disaster reduction. That's what you people have planned to do it. In view of this, it's clear that in the last decade, the international community has witnessed a steady increase in the number of magnitudes of emergencies and disasters. 90% of the disaster-affected population are in Asia. That is another important aspect. It is indeed important for the population to be informed of the potential disaster threats. They should also be equipped with sufficient knowledge and skills to protect their lives and properties. At the same time, enhancing the competence and skills of local and national authorities in disaster reduction will no doubt help to reduce the impact of potential disasters and results in more timely response. To give you an example about the coordination among the different stakeholders, I have explained to you the case of Hudhud cyclone in Visakhapatnam. Though we have been actively pursuing paradigm shift in disaster management from relief-centric approach in the past to a holistic one and compassionate preparedness, we have still a long way to go. Friends, Government of India established robust institutional structures from national to provincial level with the legislature backup and policy framework. Enacting Disaster Management Act 2005, setting up a disaster management authorities in national, state and district level, creation of a dedicated fund for disaster response, establishment of National Disaster Response Force, NDRF, a state and disaster response forces, SDRFs, and the National Institute of Disaster Management for training and capacity building are few initiatives in the capacity building process. Further, establishment of the National Emergency Operations Center, preparation of the national plan including disaster response, mitigation and capacity development plans, strengthening of fire services, amendment of the Civil Defence Act 1968 have strengthened the legal institutional mechanism for disaster management in the country. As a disaster management approach is multidisciplinary process, Minister of Home has been mandated to play the role of a coordinator as the administrative ministry. In pursuance of the legal obligations of NDMA, has already been issued different guidelines on various disasters for preparedness of the disaster management plans. These guidelines clearly indicate the action that needs to be taken in this connection. As part of India's efforts for disaster preparedness and its reduction, nodal agencies have been identified for collecting information of various hazards such as Indian Meteorological Department for cyclone, earthquakes, rainfall, strong wind and storm. India acts as a regional specialized meteorological center for monitoring, prediction and early warning of cyclone over North Indian Ocean as designated by the World Meteorological Organization WMO. It provides advisories to the WMO, ESCAP panel member countries, Water Commission for flood data and information relating at various dams and dam bursts, Geological Survey of India for landslides, INCAOs for tsunami, Ministry of Agriculture for drought-related information, Ministry of Defence, DRDO for avalanche information, National Spatial Data Infrastructure, Indian National Centre for Oceanic Information Services, Indian Institute of Remote Sensing Agency, IIRS, National Remote Sensing Agency, NRSA, and Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, are the other such organizations which provide spatial information on various hazards and disasters. The National Authority has constituted a committee to work out a detailed action plan on data sharing, coordination, issuing alerts and forecasts. Friends, India has also been drawing the best practices around the globe to improve its system and process for disaster management. The HIGO Framework for Action 2005-15, which coincides with the enactment of National Disaster Management Act 2005, have provided as a blueprint for disaster risk reduction activities, including promotion of culture of prevention, mitigation, preparedness, and resilience at all levels. India is a party to the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction 2015 and 13, which has now provided as a more practical and useful document with a people-centered preventive approach to disaster risk. This would contribute to the reduction of disaster risk and strengthen resilience of the poor and most vulnerable sections. Friends, my ministry has finalized the list of 100 cities. We want to transform them into smart cities. I would like this World Congress to give us clear analysis, perspective, and guidance on how to incorporate resilience agenda into the smart city approach. Our government mission is vulnerability reduction at all types of hazards, be it a natural or a man-made. This is not an easy task to achieve, keeping in view the vast population and multiple natural hazards to which the country is exposed. However, if we are all firm in our conviction and if we all put our brains together and resolve that the government and the people of this country are not prepared to pay the price in terms of massive casualties and economic losses, the task, though difficult, is achievable and we shall achieve it. I am very much confident about the same. Friends, what are the lessons from Hudhud? I would like to share with you. Number one, it is necessary to have infrastructure and communication systems which will withstand the wind speed of more than 200 kilometers per hour. This is one lesson. All the planners, the builders, the government departments, they should learn from the recent Hudhud in Visakhapatnam. The second, underground cabling is needed in important cities. You need to have a duct system, wherein all these electrical cable, telecom cables, IT cables, even drainage, separate pipeline, drinking water separate pipeline, everything has to be underground and they should all go through a duct so that there is no disturbance periodically by various departments digging at various levels and also avoiding the open destruction of the same. The third one, similarly the telecommunication towers have to be built up to withstand such high-speed wind. That also is another lesson. We need to build such strong telecom towers which can withstand that much speed also. Friends, fourthly, the municipal law needs to be changed to have approval plans for keeping such speed in view. And also, the municipal plans also must mandate to have rainwater harvesting in every house, to also have water recycling system, and also to have stringent laws to prevent encroachments of public properties, because encroachment will obstruct the flow of the natural water and other these things, and then that will cause obstruction, creating obstacles and also leading to flood situation at times. Proper inventory of various types of instruments required in emergency like JCBs, power saws, trippers, trucks, all this, availability of transformers, all these things has to be examined. They have to be organized in such a manner. You must be ready to prepare, you must be readily prepared to face any eventuality. That much alertness is required. These are some of the lessons that we have learned from the recent Hudhud Tufan. So friends, the Disaster Management Infrastructure and Control Society, DIMEX, and their partners such as Jawaharlal Nehru University, UNICEF, Save the Children, Geoclimate Risk Society, Andhra Pradesh government, and many others, we have all worked tirelessly to bring the best to this conference. I would like to compliment all of them. We must all learn. Everyone must learn from others' experience. There is a saying that wise men learn from others' experience and fools learn from their own experience. So we are all wise. We should learn from others' experience, and also we should also stop playing with the nature. One of the reasons for the fury of the nature is we are destroying the nature. We have destroyed the forests. We have destroyed the water, natural resources, the lakes, the water bodies. And now we are going for afforestation. Now we are going for recreation of the water bodies. Now we are going for watershed movement. Now we are talking of rainwater harvesting and all, having successfully destroyed many of these practices. I am not talking of India alone. This is the practice everywhere. So the time has come that we should all keep nature in mind. Nature in mind. Plan also, even our buildings also, keeping the nature, the culture and the future in mind. Our planning should be consisting all the three aspects. And keeping all these things in mind, every citizen in every part of the globe should be concerned, enlightened about the need to respect the nature, to preserve the nature, and also take advantage of the same. This is the lesson we have to learn. Friends, I am confident with this many number of delegates sitting here, having assembled in this Andhra Vishwakala Parishad, the knowledge center of Andhra University. I am fortunate I was a student here in the same university. From here, I have grown up. It's a center of knowledge, and I am happy today that this August gathering we have assembled here is going to meet tomorrow, day after tomorrow for 3 days. You will be dividing yourself into a number of groups, discussing on different aspects, and will be coming with some conclusions. And at the end of the day, I am happy to note that you are coming up with a Visakhapatnam declaration for the betterment of the future of the country, particularly with reference to disaster management. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.